I thought I would make a little video of my garden because it's pretty this week. We have an iris and then some columbine that I think came from seeds, and then the peonies. These are pink and then a lighter pink. Hello. I thought we could look at the April 2024 edition of Vogue with the lovely Coco Gauff on the cover. She is a tennis star and she is 20 years old. She is from Atlanta, and in this edition we will be treated to not only a photo shoot starring Coco, but we will get to meet her whole family and learn a little bit about her. This cover dress is by Michael Kors, and it is about $5,700. It's actually Michael Kors' collection, if you go to look it up. It is hand embroidered, and they are calling this color suntan. And it looks like a completely different color, kind of, on the internet, and I'm pretty sure I found this exact dress. Do you see the tiny little floral element there? There's a perfect one there. I hope you can see it. It's made in Italy, and it's a stretch dress with a floral applique. Game, set, Coco. Now we have a rainbow colored, but I guess maybe with a pastel twist, ad from Polo by Ralph Lauren. And if you are interested in any of these garments, the shirts, the pants, maybe not the belt, but they are mostly located under the linen shop if you go to the website. And they also have the plaid shop. We'll get to that in a minute. For summer. This is a relaxed fit linen shirt. They are $128. This is vineyard green. This is desert pink. And this is Riviera blue. This melon color, they're calling poppy. You might think of a red poppy, but this is actually a common color for a poppy. They're calling this banana yellow. And then the desert pink again. It's a very preppy look. And they are at an oceanside shoot. This linen utility shirt is $168. It's very colorful with the banana peel colored pants again. This item is a little more pricey at $1,100. A crest patch striped blazer in wool and cotton. And she has a little shell earring on and a straw hat, again on the beach. Here we have modeling Alice McGrath for Dior. This is actually pre-fall 2024 collection, paying homage to New York and Paris, kind of marrying the two. This bag has the Eiffel Tower on it. If you go to the Dior site, they also have a bag similar to this with the Statue of Liberty. They're also giving a nod to Marlene Dietrich in this. Pretty sure this is a large toujours bag for $4,400. Couldn't find this exact bag. I actually couldn't find any of this on the Dior site. Maybe it's coming for fall, but she looks lovely. This in black and white with shades of gray. And this is sort of in black and white too, but a little bit of color. It's a color photo, but it's very two-toned, isn't it? We have Zendaya for Bulgari. I saw her on a talk show that comes on after our soap opera that we watch, my husband and I. I think she was on the Kelly Clarkson show. And she is so likable. She just is. I can't really say that I've ever seen her in anything other than ads. But here we have lovely, lovely, lovely rings in the B0 collection, which made its debut in 1999. Very avant-garde looking. Different price points. If you go on their site, you will see the same thing. It has to do with the amount of diamonds. I found this 3-band, 3-band golden ring for about $3,200. Then when you add that strip of diamond, $6,300. And this one with the pave diamonds is about $24,000. The bracelets I couldn't find. I'm going to say they're going to be very, very pricey. One's a little bit wider than the other. I couldn't find the earring. She had this same sequined top on the last ad. It's very pretty. And then, of course, with her beautiful bone structure. It's really a lovely ad campaign, and she has certainly done a wonderful job for the brand as one of their ambassadors. And here we have Prada. With the contrast of solid and then the void of the grommet. I've seen this dress in other ads. She has a cardigan on top of it, but this is a leather dress and it's sleeveless. It's one of the more costly items for the spring. It is leather treated to give it a vintage look, and it has this design that Prada has used this spring. It could be floral, it could be something from the ocean, but since it's summertime, it kind of reminds me of a firework. But it is a common theme. It's on the bag, it's on this dress, it's on several items. So the dress is $26,600. And then this cardigan is cashmere, and it's $6,500. This cape is $1,000. It's silk, and it has this grommet print, not a grommet, but a circle shape to mimic the grommets so prominent in this collection. So the buckle bag for a medium is $5,100, but for a large, it's $6,100. It kind of looks pretty large to me, but I am often wrong on the size of these handbags. That's definitely white. And I know the buckle bags also come in black and caramel. This Omega watch is from the Constellation collection, and each one of these watches has a unique dial, and they're all each created from an ancient piece of meteorite. This is steel on yellow gold. It's $16,000. And Omega watches generally run around $8,500 to $50,000. Maybe there's one that's a lot more expensive. I don't know. This is 29mm stainless steel and 18 karat. And 12 diamonds. Well, no, 11, because that at the 6th spot it has a circle for the date. Here we have Miley Cyrus for Dolce Gabbana. And Dolce Gabbana have something special that is not an ad coming in the magazine. If you're going to Italy this summer, you can go see what I'm talking about. Isn't she lovely? With all of her tattoos. This is for eyewear. She's fast becoming a style icon, isn't she? And a lot of Dolce & Gabbana's sunglasses can be found at Sunglass Hut. And they're about $350 to $1,000. And she is in a red bedroom. It's a very sexy ad with her pouty lips and her open mouth and lingerie. Very, very sexy. We have Bottega Veneta. Set, as we've seen their spring ads before, and a Tokyo playground. And this is Iman Haman. Photo by Alec, I should know that. That's one of my kids' names. So, the bag over here in the woven leather that they are so famous for is Calamero Citta. Calamero with a K, Citta, C-I-T-T-A, $4,600. Then we have a diagonal pinstripe coat, viscose and cotton. So it's probably not too hot. It's not made of wool. For $4,700. The trouser is $1,750, and they're calling this shadow and beige. And a very pretty pink background. And now we have a very pretty springtime Van Cleef and Arpels ad. Spring is blooming. And there is only one jewelry item here, but the artwork is lovely. Irises abound, kind of like my yard, for now, till they start blooming. A pond, a bench, some stairs, and what do we have here? We have a between the finger ring. This one is Frivole, F-R-I-V-O-L-E, that's the collection, which means playful and not serious. This is yellow gold, it's $61.50. They have a lot of between the finger beautiful rings, and a lot of them feature ladybugs and plum blossoms, their usual little plum blossom motif. Check out their site. If you love ladybugs and you have a few $1,000s laying around, you could get a really beautiful piece of jewelry that it would be something that you could pass down to somebody. I'm not going to say it would be an investment because that might be going a little too far. I'm never going to give anybody an investment advice, except for maybe, don't spend money you don't have. Is that investment advice? But anyway, this is a treat for the eyes that's coming. And it's Lila Moss, and she is in Surrey, England, in what can best be described as a storybook setting. in some country manner. She is here in Prada. We will get a better shot of this whole outfit. And with the hair and the lighting and the donkeys, let's just say it. It's lovely. And it's photographed by Dan Jackson. Here we have Whitney Peak for Coco Mademoiselle perfume. I've seen this ad before, and I'm sorry, Whitney Peak, if I never knew who you were before, but I certainly know who you are now. I see your name everywhere, and you're perfect for this Chanel campaign. She is an actress who, because of probably my age, and my watching of really only British TV for some reason, it's just what I do, I didn't realize what a presence she is in the TV shows. Gossip Girl, she's in the new Gossip Girl, among other things. But I always love finding out what people's parents did. We know what Lila's mom did here for a living, still does. But Whitney Peak, her mother was from Uganda, and she was a hairdresser. Her dad is from Canada, and he was a pilot and an engineer. I say was, they might still be. She's a young lady. It's a good help. He's still working. It's a beautiful bottle. The iconic rectangle bottle with the stopper. So fancy. Shop the best of the season. Vogue.com/shopping. This ad hasn't changed, but if you go to their site, the items that they offer have changed. Michael Kors collection. Here we have Victoria Saretti all alone this time. I loved the other ads. I loved this ad too. I loved the winter ads. With Edith Akash, I think I say her name right. But it's spring and Victoria is for some reason alone. And the last magazine I looked at with you all had her in 2 ads, but she had different garments on. I think she had a white dress on in the last magazine, and it was long. Maybe. I should have checked, but look at this dress. Isn't it pretty? Could you see somebody wearing that as a wedding dress? I could. But that's me. This is, where is she? Can I write down where this is photographed? No, I'm not. In Capri, Italy. I knew that I had looked that up. An island dream is the theme. Here we have an enormous tropical island plant that is in full bloom with beautiful fuchsia colored flowers. But she has on these gladiator sandals. Obviously she has them on in white, but they're available in black and a metallic gold if you need something like that for summer. They're about $1,300. This is a floral lace empire dress with a flare sleeve, they call it. I call it wizard sleeves. And you know you have to be careful with wizard sleeves if you are, what? Cooking. Not that you would be, but can you imagine barbecuing in that? No. Just be careful if you ever do. I love the braid. They're calling this optic white. It is a cotton blend. And it also comes in suntan, which is that color, and on this dress. So this comes in that. Here's the same braid. Different little scenery here. No colorful flowers, just some sort of an architectural accent with the shadow. She's on a rooftop, it looks like. I can't see the shoes. She possibly has no shoes on. But look at this lovely gown. Chantilly lace. They're calling it a slip gown. I think it only comes in suntan, this color. It's $38.90. And it's a viscose blend, but it's lined in silk. It's beautiful. She's got a shimmer to her. Here we have Giorgio Armani. This campaign is a vision of light with a focus on transparency and, of course, reflecting a lot of sequins and beads, silk, organza. We have Quinn Mora modeling. I tried. I really tried. But I couldn't find the garments. If you go on the Giorgio Armani site, well, they might not be ready to wear, first of all. That's probably why I can't find them. They have a lot of beautiful dresses that have these effects on them, and they're very, very, very expensive. I don't think there's much on the Giorgio Armani street site, not Emporium, that's under several $1,000s. The heel on those shoes. But maybe you'll have more luck than me. I think that's a top, a bandeau top with a skirt, and then a dress with something over it, maybe. You try to find it. I could not find it. I won't try. Here we have our letter from the editor in Winter, and she saw Coco play tennis in 2019. She talks about some of the features in the magazine that we will see, and she was at a tennis match. Where were they? They were in Wimbledon, and she saw her play, and she pondered that day, would this young lady ever grace the cover of Vogue? Like many, well, like other tennis stars have in the past. And sure enough, here we are. And we get to read about her today. And then we have Eddie Redmayne starring in Cabaret. This is an Altuzarra dress. This was photographed by Annie Leibovitz. And up here, Eddie wears Alexander McQueen. Photographed by Julian Martinez Leclerc. So if you missed Eddie Redmayne in London for Cabaret, here's your chance to see him playing a long run at the August Wilson Theater in New York. It's running through September. Wow. He doesn't do Wednesday matinees. If you do go, his understudy would be there. Here we have Julia Roberts for Chopard in her beautiful heart earrings. These are 28 carats, 88 diamonds. And I've tried to look these earrings up before, I remember. It suffices to say, not correct me if I'm wrong, I would not be surprised if they're well over $150,000. because there are items on Chopard that they're littler with far fewer carats that are tens of thousands. So, I mean, they're very special for sure. And it's a lovely photo. She and I are the same age. I always think I'm just gonna throw in a segue. Yeah, after my dad died, we had to stay in his house for a while because we had a lot of things to wrap up, including getting his house ready to sell. My dad didn't have cable. He had an antenna on his TV, and there was this movie channel that we could get most of the time, and pretty much every day the movie Mystic Pizza was on. And obviously I was in grief, and I would find it hard to push through a lot of days with everything that we had to do. And I would turn on Mystic Pizza when it would come on. And I mean, this is an old movie by now, but it was just so comforting to me. I'm not even sure I could watch it again now that we're a couple years past that situation. But that's what I think of when I see Julia Roberts. Here we have several, I think, probably 6 pages of Clinique ads. But Clinique's wonderful, isn't it? And it is affordable. I think this is $33. I mean, compared to some of the high-end stuff that we see in these fancy magazines, that's not so bad. Dramatically different moisturizing lotion. Moisture Surge. And Smart Clinical Repair. I think this is the most expensive thing out of everything. But I don't think much of it's over $50 or $60. Here we have a spotlight on all the contributors. We have that Surrey shoot again, and this is Ayo Edebiri. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She is the 28-year-old comedian actress in The Bear, and we get to see a whole shoot with her and learn a little bit about her. 28 years old. That is on FX. And then we have Bella Hadid. As photographed by Zoe Gertner. And some wonderful garments. We have Daisy Wild perfume. That's exactly what the bottle looks like, by Marc Jacobs. It's about $90. It's bold, it's feminine. There is the bottle in somebody's hand. And it has notes of jasmine and banana peel. Just like our banana peel pants, colored, that we saw at the Ralph Lauren ad. Here's the run through with Vogue. If you are a podcast listener, maybe you want to check that out. So here is La Dolce & Gabbana Vita. We have a couple photos. This one is from 2012 with some Alta Moda dresses, and this is 2014 Alta Moda brocade jacket and Bermuda shorts. This is a new exhibition by this duo, and I'm going to admit something right now. I learn about fashion because I had requests to do these magazines, and I've learned a lot, but I never knew that Dolce & Gabbana were a couple. They're not a couple anymore, I think they ceased being a couple a while ago. I'm not going to give it a date. What would I know? But they still work together in their company. And they have come together to create this exhibit in Milan. It runs till July 31st. It's going on right now. And it's called From the Heart to the Hands. How wonderful. And it is celebrating the Alta Moda, among other collections, but mainly that. And there are several chapters, 10 chapters, and they play out as you go through this exhibit. Dolce's quote is, "All Italians are artists. In the lineage of every Italian family, there's a relative who knew Michelangelo or sung with Verdi. For Italians, even making a ragu is an act of artistic expression." So it's in Milan, and go check it out if you are a world traveler or European traveler, let's say, this summer. And report back to this. This is the Grammy winner, Tyla. Look at this crocheted dress. How wonderful. What a work of art that is. This is from Diotima. Photographed by Justin French. She's 22 years old and she is from South Africa. Her debut album came out in March. She had a wonderful response to her concert audiences when she did the Bacardi, which is a South African dance known for hypnotic movements. Oh, everybody go look up a video of it. I have to know. Well, it's on TikTok as a TikTok challenge, and I wouldn't know. She was born and raised in Johannesburg. She saw herself as a performer at an early age. She is a classic middle child, and she says she was an attention seeker. That's okay. She's a lovely young lady. Here's Skechers, the Uno, available for men or women. It's a pretty ad, isn't it? A silhouette of what looks like a young lady with the Eiffel Tower in the background, and 3 little kisses and some hearts. Oh, I'm sorry. 4 kisses. 3 white and 1 red. Dooney & Burke has a new product. Trying to capitalize. Well, let's just use the word, right? I'd say everything reflected. Yeah, apart from maybe the stuff from the plays. Although, no, everything reflected in here has to do with capitalism, but that's all right. This is a pickleball bag that is $160, and it is made of canvas. This is one color, and they didn't have any particularly interesting color names, but it does come in 12 colors. If you're a pickleball enthusiast, it seems like a wonderful thing to have. So it's Italian leather, and it can hold your paddle, your balls, your water bottle, amongst other things. You will look very stylish. Here is Guess. Look at this guy on his Vespa. Who will he choose? I guess he chooses her. This is in Italy at Lake Maggiore, I think. I think that's where the shoot is. I did find this exact dress. The rest of them I couldn't find, but Guess has a lot of really pretty dresses. If you have a summer wedding or a summer party, or maybe you're going out on a boat, They also have a lot of outfits that seems to be a theme for the festival goer. You know, like music festivals. This is a common mini dress, $95. It's Guess. It's all reasonably priced. This guy's got a white jacket, white pants, and white shoes. Don't ride through any puddles, unless you're not gonna be very happy. Fertile territory. They're talking about gardening books to offer your springtime inspiration. Can you imagine having an estate that looks like that? This is from Bunny Williams' garden, and the book is Bunny Williams' Life in the Garden. And she doesn't shy away from the idea that she was not born an expert. None of us are, right? The joy is in the process. And in that process, you're going to make mistakes. As anybody who attempts gardening, I mean, these are pretty fancy gardens, but you can have a little pot on your porch with a petunia in it, and we will all think it's beautiful. And that might be an easy thing to try if you have a sunny area. We're going to root you on. The other book that they feature, that these photographs are from, is Dales for Living, inspired by nature, and this is at a Cotswold farm in England. And the organic world there serves as the ultimate generative force. Look at this meadow. They've plowed, well, they've mowed a path, which you wouldn't need, but let's be honest, if you walked through that, maybe not everybody will want to walk through that. I don't think I would mind, but you might stumble upon a snake and bugs. And that's the formal gardens. Investment in the garden always offers a good return. And, you know, there's worse things that you could be doing, right? You tried. Look at these lovely porcelain works by C.O., Korean American artist. I remember reading this. She was born in Korea. I say she. Hold on a minute, I don't want to be getting that wrong. They create these ceramic objects out of LA, and there was a two-part exhibition that occurred that was called Elegies, and they featured these. These are hand-thrown, hand-painted vessels, and they're inspired by Korean burial ceramics. It's a traditional earthenware that is holds the ashes of a loved one, and it's to aid in their transition to the afterlife. They are adorned with flowers native to California. So Say was born in Korea and adopted at 9 months by Americans and raised in West Tennessee. Aren't they lovely? These are strokes of cobalt oxide. And these features that furl open are very reminiscent of a parrot tulip, aren't they? Here we have Iris Law for Dylan Purple, Versace. I love that dress. It's very sexy. And the bottle is very pretty. She's glowing in that photo. And here is a close-up of the bottle. This perfume is described as a combination of fruit, including pear and bitter orange, and floral, with the freesia flower. Here's an Architectural Digest Pro directory. That's their site, their QR code. If you need help with that kind of thing. And isn't this making a fashion statement? I'd say. It's very pink. All different shades. Vogue Summer School. 2-week programs for teens. And when I popped on to see, like, let's say you have a teen that would like to go to this, it seems like you can still try to get in, but the process takes some time, so maybe next year. It's something to keep in mind. This is put on by the Condé Nast College of Fashion and Design. Large all-white ad. It is made to look like an article on skincare. And this is Notes of Rose and Cherry Cream. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? With that cherry. With a vitamin B complex. It's a very indulgent moisture body wash. This is a very good article. It's very scary. To me, anyway. But it was, and it may cause a little, I don't know how everybody feels about this. It's about water. And how there are water sommeliers now. There are 5-figure bottles of water. And it's all about marketing. I am going to admit that I drink tap water. I am not a bottled water drinker, but I live in Michigan and we went through the Flint water crisis. Although I live far from Flint, I drink water that comes from the Detroit River that is processed. I've been drinking it for 50 some years now. I don't like physically buying the water at the store, lifting it, all the plastic and waste that occurs with that. I understand why people buy bottled water. Here in Michigan, a lot of people buy bottled water. And I think that a lot of it has to do with distrust. But with the plastic bottles, there are these microplastics and nanoplastics. It says here that there are up to 240,000, 250,000 micro and nanoplastics in the average liter of bottled water. And these micro and nanoplastics are everywhere. They're in the rain. They're in us. So when we shed, our skin and in our sweat and everything that comes off of us or out of us has microplastics. Placentas have microplastics. There's no getting away from it. But, it's something to be aware of in bottled water. And I showed this to my husband earlier before he left for work. And we're kids of the 70s who drank out of hoses. And I know that I'm going to sound like some old prospector now, but we talk about this all the time. If somebody would have asked us when we were little, what do you think the future is going to be like? Do you think that there's going to be flying cars like the Jetsons, or, food that comes in a tablet? We might have thought, yeah, maybe because of TV. But if you would have told us that people would be buying water in bottles, we would have laughed at you. It's just beyond me that, it's not beyond me that it's a thing, because people can do what they want. But this microplastic thing is something to consider. And then the prices of some of this water. There's a bottle of water that came in a 24-karat gold bottle and cost $60,000. The most expensive water ever sold. But it's a whole thing, and it's a business now. This is the New Yorker. add, see the full list for 2024 for the most notable and surprising new books. So we can't get away from the water thing. This water expert says the pH of water doesn't matter. And when you think about it, I've never bought a specific water for pH. I don't buy it. But I know people that do. That our digestive systems are acidic by design. So I really don't know that drinking special pH water is going to help. But if you want to keep doing it, go ahead. And I do know the nuances of different water because we've visited our relatives that live in rural areas that have wells. And there are nuances when you're drinking water from a well that comes from different parts of land. Our water probably tastes like chemicals to some people. I don't know, but if you want to prioritize ecological concerns, I'm going to show this to my son when he gets here. So if you want to prioritize that, if that's what you do and I do, both in terms of impact and what you ingest, drink your tap water. It's very important for me to say that, and this says this water expert. All tap water is exponentially better regulated than bottled water, and you can have your water tested. All of our pipes are different. I live in an old house. You know, there are houses that people have renovated around me that have put in all copper. We probably all get the same water from the same water plant, but their water is going to be different than mine. And I know where I live, you can get your water tested for free by the city, and then you can take it someplace, some other lab, and have it tested yourself, and it's not that much money. Then they talk about how astronauts drink water on the space station. They drank recycled water for 2 decades. And that may be where we're headed. Maybe not like in my lifetime, but we have, what is the, and then I'm going to stop talking about water. I promise. So less than 1% of the Earth's water, 1% is available for human consumption. And more than 2 billion people, that's a quarter of the people that inhabit the planet Earth, lack access to fresh water. I thought that was fascinating. We have a climate action ad. That really got me off on a tangent, and so did this. And I'm just going to be honest with you. We're switching from water to chocolate here. Like that movie, like Water for Chocolate. Is that what it was called? I love that movie. What does this fancy hotel have to do with chocolate? Well, first of all, I must disclose that I have not been eating chocolate in a long, long time. Purposely, because I just need to stop eating chocolate. But here's this story about this fancy hotel roping me right back in. Why? Because this is La Playa. It's 119 years old. It is on Carmel by the Sea. I mean, look at that. There's the Pacific Ocean. That is what it used to look like. This was a mansion before it was a hotel. I've got to get the artist's name up on my computer. Got off on a tangent on this one. You might too. Because the original mansion was built by Chris Jorgensen, so 119 years ago, who was an artist who was born in Norway and he came to California to go to art school. He was the first tuition-free student to the California School of Design. But he had this built for Angela Girardelli, who was at that point, well, that was his wife, and she was the heiress to the Girardelli chocolate fortune. There's my link to chocolate. I had to find it eventually in Vogue. It's a very interesting story to read about. Angela was his student when he became an art teacher. And I'm going to read more about him later, just to learn something about art. But they have refurbished La Playa, and it's a fancy hotel now, and you can go stay there. It required a lot of restoration, $15 million, which, if it's that fancy, it doesn't seem like that much, does it? I don't know. It's an interesting thing to read about. There's worse things we could be doing. Here's the Big Tips and Trends ad, and they have some stretch linen pants, a suede fringy bag, lots of serums, cuticle oil. You could buy this, or you could just make your own with some olive oil or your favorite kind of oil. A cap to grow hair with laser, collagen burn to smooth cellulite. I don't know if any of it works, but my favorite little ad is gone, the LED belly belt, but they've replaced it with that thing. For a more contoured jawline and toned face, the Medilift. I looked it up. I don't know if it works, but I know how much it costs. It's $400. Or you could just go get CNN. Is this a celebrity? I don't think so. Let me know if it's like a singer or something. You would think they would have their name on there. Look at the tattoos, though. Pretty birds up front. I think that says free. Beautiful nails. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing on her. Very put together. Frown lines undefined. Inactive ingredients, human albumin and sucrose. I mean, get it if you want. I don't judge, but you're beautiful just the way you are. Here's another ad for Secret Whole Body Deodorant. This is Carly Sculatino. Who is she? I don't know. This is kind of a cool thing that they've invented, though. And a lot of it's just getting around a shower, I guess. It seems benign enough. This is Sophie Gregoire Trudeau, and she's written a memoir. I don't think that she's divorced from Justin Trudeau. They're definitely separated, and it's legal. And they have signed it, and it's private for now. I don't really know the whole story, but she has been living a single life and is photographed with different movers and shakers, one of them being Justin Theroux. But her memoir is Closer Together, and it's out. If you want to know more about her, she's got 3 kids, a couple of whom are teenagers, and she is no longer tied to the political wife schedule. And it seems like she's mainly in the United States. The memoir is Closer Together. I don't know if I said that. It's out. And this is photographed in Ottawa at a bookstore. Let's look at some of the books to read on the beach, maybe, or maybe you're going on vacation. Maybe you'll be at a hotel. The first one is Tana French, The Hunter, and it is set in Western Ireland. And it has to do with a retired Chicago cop, and he's settling into his new rural life away from Chicago. And he's acting as a surrogate parent to one of the area's more wayward children. But the absentee father returns to the village. And he involves this close-knit community that they live in, the dad does, in some scheme to literally defund a gold-seeking Englishman. As with all of Ms. French's books, something's off and the fun is in the unraveling. The next one is Clear, and it is set in Scotland, a remote island off Scotland. But the writer is Welsh, Carrie Davis. And it feels like a thriller set against a history lesson rendered fantastically vivid. It sounds wonderful. Real Americans by Rachel Kong. This is in follow-up to her acclaimed book, Goodbye Vitamin. And it has to do with 3 generations of one Chinese-American family. And it spans a couple decades. The 3 main characters confront how their lives have been shaped by biology, world events, their parents' choices, and luck. All Fours by Miranda July. This sounds good. This story is about a Los Angeles creative who's adrift in her 40s. She's semi-famous, she's married, she's between projects, and she's going to take a 2-week trip to drive across America. It doesn't sound like she gets far. 15 minutes out of town, she parks the car at a rundown motel and begins an odyssey of a different kind that involves sex, interior design, and bouts of self-abnegation. It's a frank novel about midlife awakening. Doesn't it sound good? And then The Limits by Nell Frudenberger. It's her intelligent 4th novel. It travels from Tahiti to East Hampton, charting a map of at-odds desire and teenage derangement along the way. And it follows Natalie, a French marine biologist, studying climate effects on coral in French Polynesia. Her ex-husband is a Manhattan cardiologist who was overwhelmed by COVID and newly married to a pregnant wife. Connecting those 2 worlds is a 15-year-old daughter that they share. It sounds like it could get very good. This is Palm Beach Tan, Her Secret. Palm Beach Tan. Spray. I don't know. Spray Your Way. I'm going to reach across. So here's our story about Coco Gauff, the most electrifying superstar in tennis. Coco is doing her level best to conquer her own sky-high expectations and win another major in the process, photographed by Annie Leibovitz. And this dress is Dior, but the boots are Sakai. She's constantly beating herself up, even when she wins. Oh, Coco, don't do that. It's not like I'm saying, good job, Coco. It's like, why didn't you do that sooner? The little shorts here, they're not made of fur, they're just fuzzy. And I could not find white. They're Sakai. All things Sakai, dress and shorts. I could find them in black. They're made of pure polyester, which And they're $760. They've probably made it so that it doesn't itch. And they're probably lined with something. It's a great shot. Look at the birds in the background. I just can't imagine. And now I thought they. Here's her family. Aren't they beautiful? Mom and Dad. Mom is Candy. Dad is Corey. The dad coached her. And then she's got two brothers. Cameron's the youngest one, and then Cody after the dad. And there she is in the middle. It looks like she's got a little Gucci outfit on there, huh? Yep. She's talking about Leah Summers' U.S. Open final. And she had a lot of built-up emotion. I'm almost there, I'm almost there, she kept saying to herself. And then finally, I was there, I did it, and I just fell to the floor. She's got beautiful skin. What is all this? That jacket is Chanel. I think everything's Chanel. I see Coco. Because you're Coco. Yep, everything's Chanel. Except the top, which is New Balance. Venus, meaning Venus Williams, taught me the importance of humility and the importance of life being enjoyed outside of tennis. Also, the importance of letting your emotions out. I want to win more so I can get close to the feeling. I told my mom, I literally said, it's an addictive feeling. As soon as I felt that, I wanted to re-feel it again. A win is a good feeling, isn't it? And it can come in a lot of different forms. This coat is Miu Miu, and it is wonderful. So it's at the top, I recognize the top. Everything's Miu Miu, isn't it? I believe so. Yep. It's great. Here we have Bella Hadid. This is Balenciaga. I tried to look for this dress on their site. I found a black one like this. A seamless dress with that neckline. I couldn't find one in this color though, but this is Balenciaga. This is Saint Laurent. This trench coat. She's on a couple big pieces of wood. Long, lean silhouettes we will see here on her long, lean silhouette. This is Victoria Beckham. The jacket is. I don't know about the pants. It doesn't say that. The jacket is CDLM. The ring and the cleavage there is Cartier. This dress is the robe. And the gold bangle is the robe, but the silver bangle is Tiffany. The top, which I think they're talking about does, is Jason Wu, but the skirt is Ralph Lauren. Standing on the top of those logs again. And here she is on that horse. What a beautiful color horse that is. This is a Burberry knit dress. And we've seen this in an ad in another Vogue. Providing color and movement. Lila. Very elegant. Double-breasted jacket and pants. Look at that dress. This is Tom Ford. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. Once again, the overcoat is Hermes, and the jeans are CDLM. The latest trend in makeup is the blur. Making yourself look like you have slept in your makeup. Now, this person that wrote this, Sloane Crossley, had a makeup expert from Dior come and meet with them to talk about creating this, but couldn't you just put a bunch of makeup on and then sleep in it, and then that could be it, and it could be natural. Maybe I'm just simplifying things. So, you're coming from the 80s, let's say, is traveling through time in the makeup world, where everything is hyper perfect, heavily contoured. Then you get into grunge. Then you get sucked back into the vortex almost by mistake because of YouTube tutorials. And it's true. This slept-in makeup is a reaction to that. And let's face it, it's a sexy look, right? I mean, you might be it might be hand in hand with a walk of shame. We don't judge, right? It happens. This is Bella Hadid here, and this is a Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow primer. What do you think? Oh, fill up. A Man for All Seasons. This is Andrew Scott. He is going to be in the Netflix series Ripley. Might have already started yet, I don't know. This is also photographed by Annie Leibovitz. He's got Ralph Lauren. This is Purple Label shirt, and the jeans are Levi's. Spoken of by many of his fellow actors as a very charming guy. I don't like to think about it too much, if I'm honest, he says of fame. I find it a little bit frightening. This is an Officine Generale coat. Walking down a city street, probably New York, but I don't really know. What does it say in the background? I don't know. This Ripley is an upcoming 8-episode project for Netflix. The gentleman who wrote this, the screenwriter that wrote Schindler's List and Gangs of New York wrote all 8 of the episodes. He was born in Dublin, 47 years old. I've probably seen him in things, but I'm not placing him. He's been in a lot of plays. His first role was the Tin Man in a production of The Wizard of Oz as a kid. That's cute. Boop, boop. This is Eddie Redmayne, and what's the young lady's name? She's from Scotland. She's playing Sally Bowles. Her name's Gayle Rankin. She was in Cabaret as one of the Kit Kat girls in Kit Kat Club who plays the accordion. And she played alongside some famous actresses in the role of Sally Bowles. Emma Stone being one of them, and I can't think of the other one. Who would the other one be? Oh, I am obsessed with Cabaret. My son was in a production of it. I will not go on about it, but I went through about 4 months of singing Cabaret songs. And so she was in the Alan Cumming production of that with different, or the one where Alan Cumming played an Emcee. And there were different Sally Bowles. I'm not thinking of the other lady. But anyway, Michelle Williams was the other one. So this dress is pretty. She's got fishnet stockings on like they wear in the play. This is 16 Arlington. The shoes are Grimson. And this is ERL top and pants. I thought it was a jumpsuit, but it's not. I wish it was. It is an ERL top and pants, and the shoes are Louis Vuitton. Eddie Redmayne gives a similar story to the producer that my son worked under for our local production of this. And this man was probably in his 70s. And he opened every performance with his story of his link to Cabaret, seeing it as a teenager in a school play, I think, and how it flipped a switch in him. And it did with the audiences I sat in, just with our local production too. It's wonderful. I would do anything to go see this. Maybe we will. It's great. So we have Saint Laurent, Philip Tracy hat, Eddie Redmayne's portrayal of the Emcee. You know, Alan Cumming put his twist on it, and if you've seen the movie, you can see how Joel Grey played it. His performance is described as a combination of Peter Pan and another Peter that old movie enthusiasts might know, Peter Lorre. I just watched The Maltese Falcon last night because I had it last night. I just needed to watch an old movie. I looked through this magazine a little bit. It was funny that I read that quote, and here I am watching a very old movie from the 40s with somebody that they're even talking about on there. And this, I'd love to hear her sing and watch her dance. This is a J.W. Anderson top and pants. The hat is by Stephen Jones Millinery, because she'll put her spin on Sally Bowles as well. A graduate of Juilliard. She played Fraulein Cost. So she's the cabaret girl that plays the accordion. Because even in Berlin, the orchestra is even beautiful at the Kit Kat Club, right? We started watching The Bear, and for some reason we stopped. My son loves it, and of course, I love Jeremy Allen White. I must call him right. I loved Shameless. I loved it. I loved watching those kids grow up. And I'm all for him, you know, he with this new project, and it's in Chicago too, and that's nice. And we've liked what we saw, but I forget what pulled my husband and I away from it, but I will try it maybe over the winter, and we'll binge watch it. But this lady, I think you say it Ayo, even though it's Ayo. Edebiri, 28 years old, and this is photographed by Angela Panetta. She's going to direct one of the episodes in the next season, but this is a Marnie jacket, and as is the vest and the skirt, but the shoes are Gucci. And I really think she's going to rise to the top. One thing that is detailed in the article is she really loved her ability to be anonymous at first. She liked to be able to go out, and then her show became popular. She can't do that anymore. She's recognized everywhere. She grew up in Boston, and she says, I love this quote. She seems like a funny girl. I didn't identify as funny, she says, for childhood. I identified as stressed. Loewe sweater, Loewe skirt, Loewe shoes. Oh, look at the skirt, how it has a little train. How cute. I wonder if that's her dog. That's a playful shot there, blowing a bubble. This is Stella McCartney. It's a great article. If you can pick up this Vogue, we obviously won't read the whole thing. She's talking about Abbott Elementary's Quinta Brunson, and she says, when I watch her perform, I'm able to see so many people I know in one person. This is Jill Sander. The brooch is Agnes, like Agnes, but with an M. Agnes. This jacket is Prada. Everything's Prada. The shoes are Miu Miu, though. Prada, Prada. Miu Miu Miu. I think this girl's going to be a mega star. And I'm showing my age calling her a girl. This young lady. She went to NYU. She's been on What We Do in the Shadows and Big Mouth, amongst other things. It sounds like she's had a whirlwind couple of years. Louis Vuitton jacket and dress. Flowers. Wonderful smile. All right. I'm not going to say this is my favorite thing. Of course, I have an obsession with England that I don't know why. It's ancestral roots calling, even though I think most of my grandma was 90-something% Irish. But here we are in Surrey, and this is like a dream. I love her hair, I love the lighting, I love everything. So this is all Prada, even the shoes. So here we are in the country. On a farm, it kind of looks like a fancy farm. So we're going to see a lot of trench coats and chore jackets. And a lot of florals. High country. Oh, look at that. Okay. Doesn't this look familiar? This is Max Mara. We didn't have a Max Mara ad in this magazine, but here's one of those utility bags. Maison Margiela romper. And the corduroy jacket is D squared 2, dsquared2.com. It's cute. We've seen this in an ad. It's a Simone Roca parka, Bottega Veneta top, skirt, and shoes. But look at those socks. This is Louis Baines, and he has on a Margaret Howell jacket. I love those socks. It looks pretty. My dog's barking. Okay, so Lila Moss wears a Burberry cape here. And the dress is Tom Brown. And then Mr. Beans is in a P and company jacket. And the pants are Burberry. It is England after all. Oh, look at her face. And her hair is very lovely. This jacket is Max Mara. The hair is Maison Margiela. I'm not sure how to say it. Isn't it so pretty? And here, this coat. I want it. This coat is Erdem and Barbour. And everything else is just Erdem, including the shoes. In a very English floral, with that backdrop of all that greenery, all the English rain producing all the green, lush green lawn, hedgerows. This is something new. Shop Spring Style, made easy by Jenna Lyons. Spring Try Guide. New ways to shop with Google. I'll give it a whirl. I did not go on there. This shirt is on it. Very lovely, very stylish. Okay, I think this is my favorite part of Vogue, the get. So here we have gardening themed items, meadowy prints, hardy outerwear, and other earthly delights. This hat, maybe you need that to garden in. What do you think? Do you have $1,200? It is from Hermes. Dolce Gabbana sweater. Isn't that pretty? What do we have? All kinds of flowers. Some roses, I think. Maybe hydrangea. Maybe a rose of Sharon. I don't know. I really like it. It's on like a forest green backdrop. The next item that they feature is a book, Beyond the Meadows. It's $40 from Penguin Random House. Oh, I love this skirt. I know they don't show it being worn paired. What do you think? What do you think of the combination of that? It is a 2 floral print skirt by Erdem. I thought so. $761. But what do you think if you wore it all together? What about with the boot? The boot is by the row, and it's $16.20. A Max Mara bag. There's no avoiding these utilitarian bags. They're pretty cool. And that is about $1,700. The pin here, which is a carrot with its big leafy stem, is by Alex Monroe, and it's $180. AlexMonroe.com. Let's pop over there and see what else they have. Look that up. I like a field coat, a working coat, a garden coat. Malene Berger. It's about $1,000. Number 9 is a Louis Charm, and it's a pea pod. I like it. It's about $500. We have similar styles also. This floral dress is lovely, isn't it? It's Ralph Lauren collection. And the Jimmy Choo shoe, about $1,000. Very spring-like. Provenza Schuler jean, about $500. Tory Burch plate, $150 for a set of 4. They have a botanical print on there. I can't tell what kind of flower it is, but there is a dahlia in this floral arrangement. Raul Avila floral arrangement, $150. Is it fake? I mean, look, it's so pretty. I don't know if it's fake or not. I don't think it is, but Raul Avila, look him up. First of all, he's really handsome. He's from Colombia, and he was one of the floral designers that worked at the Met Gala. Look at all the irises that this lady has in her garden. And I wonder what those are. I know what it looks like, but I can't think of what they're called. In this photo, the irises are done blooming, so this is a later, this is a summary shot. What are those called? I can't think of it. Here's the continuation of our stories. In the last look, I had to do a double take. This is Van Cleef and Arpels, and I thought it was a pin at first because this is very reminiscent of a pin that my mother had in the 70s. It did not have jewels, it was just enameled, but it was a daisy like that, and I think that's what I thought of it. It was at first a pin, but it's a watch. This is called the Marguerite Secret. The dial is hidden behind the daisy's eye. This is 18 karat white and yellow gold, yellow sapphires, and round diamonds. And they have it here set with greenery and tulips that aren't really quite yet opened. How lovely. Here is an ad for the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco. Stay iconic. And the last ad is Gucci with Kendall Jenner, and this is in Los Angeles. Bella Rio, maybe? I don't know. I need to look everything up. So we have some traditional Savoy luggage down here. And then we have the Gucci print, the interlocking print, but with this lime green handle on that tote bag, and then a lime green piece of luggage. It might be kiwi, I don't know. She's in a very preppy looking outfit with a button-down shirt, black trousers and a black sweater, and snow white Gucci sneakers. She's very put together in all of it. And the Gucci luggage runs, I bet you it's probably all under $5,000. I don't know about the bag, this bag. But I think a Savoy wheeled piece of luggage like this is probably close to $4,000. So I couldn't find this. I couldn't find that bag, so I don't know what they're calling that color. It's very nice. And here's our golden cover with Coco on it. We learned something about Coco today. Let's see where she goes. Got a lot of up and coming young stars Thanks for watching. Bye.